Level 30, Fire Red, Beast Green. Mayuru Moyuru is scouring the Alf Castle for any sun-beaten souls who might not have heard about this year's Moonfire Faire. Do my eyes deceive me, or do I spy a familiar face who looks like she could do with some proper summer recreation? That's right, the sun's rays are out in full force, and so is our beloved Moonfire Faire. These days, the event doubles as a free promotion for the Adventurers Guild, you know? The brave and the bold show off their heroics, and afterwards the fair guests flock to the guild in droves to hire them. But the real star of the show is the acclaimed Eorzean Nimble Warrior Chorus, bringing in hundreds upon hundreds of new challengers. At any rate, we could really use more help out there, so if perchance I've piqued your interest, I suggest you ship out to Costa del Sol and speak to our chief chaperone, Ermaga. Ermaga! Same one as last year. Yep. We're at the beach. We need a melon. I didn't even look up to see what the stuff was this year. Silly, now there's a sight for sore eyes. Did Mayuru Moyuru send you out here to lend a hand? This year, the event is shaping up to be a thrill for visitors and staff alike. Allow me to give you a brief outline of what we have planned. In case the screaming and splashing hadn't given it away, we've brought back the Eorzean Nimble Warrior course with all of his explosive challenges intact. Heliopo. And if the summer sun gets to be too much, grant yourself a refreshing reprieve by enjoying an icy treat or playing with the polar bears. Even better, this year we've added a little Far Eastern flair with these hand fans. They're called Ushiwa, and they drive away evil spirits or so, I'm told. To ensure their authenticity, we hired an expert in the art of the festival, little Namazu fellow, to craft us 100 crates of them, and what color could be more fitting for Moonfire than bright, blazing red? Seeing as the origins of the event can be traced back to the bombard hunts of years past, I say Uchiwa are perfectly for the spirit of the occasion, and judging from the sizable crowds, I'm far from the only one. Downside, of course, is that we presently find ourselves quite ill-equipped to manage a turnout of this magnitude. Personally, I'd like to bolster our security cadre if we can. As it stands, none of us would be able to leave our post in the event of a serious emergency, so given the fortuitous timing of your arrival, could I ask you to... I'm a monster, ah! Did you say monster? Damn it all, the people are starting to panic. Please, you've got to help us. I'll stay here and try to keep the crowd calm. You head north and find that woman. The monster was just here, I swear it. It was leering at me from behind that rock, making these off-kilter little motions, and then it ran off to the east. Thought for certain it would come over here, and ooh, I feel faint. I need to go lie down. Is it the Namazu? Damn, I didn't stand a chance against that thing. Should have seen it. I was minding my own business out here, practicing my steps, when suddenly that thing showed up out of nowhere to challenge me to a dance-off. Then after it utterly trounced me, it raced off again. Would that I could tell you where or even which direction, although come to think of it, I believe I saw something fall from its body. Oh, it doesn't much matter to me anymore. I can hear summer's call, and it must be heeded. To the ocean with me. Whatever fell off that thing, you find it lying over there if you think it will help your search. Aha, there she is. Glad as ever to see you again. Ermaga told us you might be in need of urgent assistance, so here we are. We've heard reports of green monster running amok. Have you learned aught in the way of clue? Dropped something, did it? Looks to be a needle by my reckoning. Obvious we're dealing with a cactuar. Obvious we're dealing with an inebriated weaver. Cactuars in Lanasia, of all places, surely they would struggle to survive so far removed from their native habitat of Thanolin. I'm so sorry about this. Madam Memaja, if I'm not mistaken, was it not Master Gegaruju himself who invited you out to Costa del Sol? Yes, I traveled all the way from Ul'dah at the summons of my friend Gegaruju. Naturally, I couldn't bear the thought of my dear pets missing out on the fun and festivity, so I brought them along with me. Not for a moment did I ever think they would act out like this. You have my deepest apologies. We're perfect angels when we stopped in to see Gegaruju. He even gave them treats. The moment I stepped away for a drink, they went mad. Poor Gegaruju couldn't rein them in. The time I got back, they were gone. I swear to you, this has never happened before. Well, that would certainly explain how a cactuar ended up in Lanasia. However, regardless, if your pets pose a danger to the fairgoers, we may have to subdue them by force. No, please, I've raised them since they were pups. They'd never hurt a fly. I don't fancy the prospect myself, but what other option is there? Given that the Moonfire Faire would have no venue were it not for Master Gegaruju, I'd obviously prefer if we didn't upset a dear friend of his. Yes, termination should be a last resort. Let us first attempt to capture them. Sensible plan. Should things turn violent, it would only frighten the attendees. This calls for a more subtle approach. Just the three of us, perhaps. We could use the Moonfire Warrior, right? Indeed, I would see the situation sorted swiftly that we might return to the fair. If we work quickly, we may manage to find it before it escapes the bounds of Costa del Sol. Thus I propose we split up. Zilly, my friend, will you search the west side of the island? Look at it go. You find something? It appears she did, but how are we going to capture it? Never seen a cactuar look so dangerous. Is it just me, or is it radiating an aura of pure malice? I've never seen the poor thing like this either. Come to think of it, Gegaruju told me it seemed to him as though they were possessed. In that case, perhaps the aura is an evil spirit. If only we could purify it somehow. Perhaps an Uchiwa would help. What that thing needs is an exorcism. Of course, in the Far East they use Uchiwa to ward off evil spirits, right? Maybe our festival fans would work. In that case, allow me to do the honors. Evil spirit, be gone! Uchiwashoi! Yay. Yes, well that was easy. Shall we head back for drinks? Terribly sorry to interject, but I think there's been a misunderstanding. That's only one of my dear cactuars. I'm still missing the other 6. I do appreciate you finding Cacti, of course, but I'm worried about Cactilo and Cactina and Cactistifer. And wait, so when you said pets, you brought 7 cactuars to Lanasia? It's concerning, then, that we scoured every inch of the island and only found 1. It appears we will have to take our search to the mainland. Very well, let us take up our Ojiwa and find these cactuars that we might ease them of their torment. Level 30, Fire Red, Beast Green, complete. Seasonal event, quest complete. You have learned the emote Uchiwashoi. Level 30, Festival Fan Frenzy. Moonfire Faire Chaperone Woodifon is prepared to help you track down a half-dozen wayward cactuars. Take it you're ready to begin. In that case, let us review our objective. First, we must seek out these cactuars. As soon as one is located, placate it with a gust from your Uchiwa, then bring it back here. You, my friend, are in charge of searching the southwestern cliffside. Yay, the cactuar appears to have snapped out of it, whatever it may have been. Eager for your company, it walks right up to you, allowing you to grab it. Ouch. Cactuar appears to have snapped out of it, whatever it may have been. Eager for your company, it walks right up to you, allowing you to grab it. Doo-doo. Welcome back. I don't suppose you found any cactuars. That brings us to 7. Excellent. We're done. Now that that's over with, I think I'll grab myself a drink and find a nice vantage point, preferably somewhere in the shade. Oh, take me with you. I've been dying for a drink. Shame it's night. Alas, the crisis is well and truly averted. Now I can return to my focus to what matters most, ensuring a spectacular time is had by all. Seeing as Ermaga still needs a status report, could I ask you to see to that? Welcome back. It seems you had the cactuar crisis well in hand. You've done your part to keep the peace, and for that I thank you. Now, what's this I hear about a malicious aura? Efficacy of the Uchiwa aside, I'd rather like to get to the bottom of this, lest we suffer the same problem next year. I just wanted to report that the pet cactuars are resting safely away from the main festivities. I asked another chaperone to keep an eye on them. I cannot apologize enough for the trouble I caused. Yes, well, I am glad to have this matter settled quietly. My lovely ladies were quite frightened. That being said, speaking as one who has seen his share of dances, your pets have star potential, my dear Mamija. Truly, perhaps I should have them formally trained. You're not seriously going to encourage that behavior, are you? Lest you forget, it was pure coincidence that we found a peaceable solution through the use of our Uchiwa. For something like this to happen again, that luck may not hold. Surely you don't mean I've learned my lesson, I swear it. As soon as we're home, I assure you, and I'll ensure they're trained to stay at my side at all times. Till I ask, incidentally, did you notice anything that might have served as the catalyst to their cavorting? No, I'm afraid not. I was away at the time, you see. I thought it quite strange myself. One moment they were downing their wine like sailors, and the next it was as though they were possessed by some manner of wicked spirit. They were drunk. They were drinking wine, my lord? And what a fine vintage it was. I was delighted to be in like-minded company. Oh, the great conversation we could have had, if only they could speak. Amicia, I can't believe I'm asking this, but is wine safe for cactuars? How should I know? I've only ever given them the finest spring water from the mountains of Curthis myself. Seems we have our culprit. So they were just drunk? Makes you want to dance. Ha! They barely had a cup full each, and besides, it's not like I poured the stuff down their throats, did I? Enabler. Alright, look, perhaps sharing a bottle wasn't the best of ideas, but how was I to know they couldn't hold their drink? Personally, I'm just glad the mystery's been put to rest, and seeing as Mamicia's learned her lesson, I dare say we won't be seeing a repeat of the incident. Well, just in case someone else gives wine to some other cactuars, I'll be sure to let the chaperone team know to reach for an Ujiwa rather than a weapon. That would be much appreciated, Banyo. Now let us return to the festival. The Adventurers Guild won't promote itself, you know. As for you, on behalf of the entire chaperone team, I thank you. Enjoy the remainder of the event and don't be a stranger, all right? Level 30, Festival Fan Frenzy, complete. Seasonal event quest complete. Achievement unlocked, Summer's biggest fan.